everyone, to episode 60.
Hold on. You can't start the show. No one knows what we've just gone through. No one, you need to be as,
I can't make eye contact with you.
Oh, God.
Episode 60, that Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Right now, it's not about golf because I'm just going to tell you, Chris and I have been working real hard to boost this show, especially post-COVID, when we have vaccines and stuff, the show is going to be phenomenal. Production quality is going to be really too good for a now officially 400 subscribers YouTube channel.
That's right.
It's going to be too high quality, but right now we're trying to deliver the best. As we're talking, I'm saying that to the production meeting we just had because of the struggles technologically we're having, even more to the point, God, it's not even that necessarily of a permanent thing. And I'm losing my mind over it. I'm freaking out. Anyway, we've been trying to make some technical changes for the better. And I have specifically had my own personal roadblocks with it that just don't make sense. They just don't make sense.
If we have any viewers that happen to be Nikon camera experts, reach out to Bill Bush. And one way or the other.
Yeah.
You have to be a super expert because I feel like we've exhausted, you, my friend, have exhausted as much
pretty close to
internet research that's possible. But
by day, by trade, I am a tech person. I have tech know-how.
Yeah.
I can handle figuring out things that shouldn't be figure-outable.
Right.
And I'm on week 2 of just banging my head against a wall. I've tried everything. Anyway.
Long story short, we did a show already.
We did.
But we have to redo the show because of some
technical hurdles.
That's right.
And the show looks way better than this. Anyway, we want more of these high quality shows like this, where we rant and rave. I feel like was it the episode before? Was it last episode or the episode before it where we were so defeated? I think it was last episode.
It was 59. Yeah.
Which, by the way, that episode was actually kind of good.
It was good.
I say that as a host of the show. I was like, it gave me a good laugh I think I watched it 3 times. Just how God, I love us. Anyway, if you want more shows where self-deprecating, technologically challenged Chris and Bill talk golf and the things that just make them furious, subscribe down here.
That's right.
I'll do this even. Hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you might see other videos where we don't do this, including, our first golf outing of the season.
That's right.
Yep. At Cog Hill Golf
you can click
Club.
on the card that's up right above your head, William. There it is, right there.
There it is.
Got it.
Yep. Anyway, thanks for doing all this. Hey, like this video if you don't mind, just to lift my spirits personally.
Seriously.
When you watch a lot of these YouTube channels, they're like, oh, hey, if you like our videos, you're into it. Hey, hit like now. But listen, I just need it selfishly, personally. I'm feeling very down about YouTube channel work with Chris right now. So it's not Chris's fault. It's my fault. Lift my spirits. Give us a like, maybe a comment, boosting my self-esteem if you don't mind. Just saying. Anyway, today's show, I want to catch up with Chris about some golfing he's done recently that I didn't. We'll do that. But also, good friend of the show, great friend of the show, Andy Gorman, with an Ask Andy segment to improve your putting game. Now, Chris, I will remind you, I started working with Andy Gorman due to wedge hips. That's spelled WHYIPS. Whips. I can't even do it again, so we're going to leave the bit alone. I will tell you this. It has been fascinating to me. It's been about a year since I started working with Andy, a year and change. And I texted him the other day. I'm fascinated at how much the stuff he has helped me with has legitimately stuck. If you watch our Cog Hill vlog, again, reminder, there's a featured 62 degree lob wedge shot that They do not hit well. That's being used to 62 degrees or not in a new wedge. That's not Andy's work. My wedge game that day was actually pretty good.
It was good.
So hats off, Andy Gorman, for your miracle work. But Andy's also done a lot to really rebuild a lot of my golf game. And part of that being putting, when I thought I was a fairly good putter, but he's actually made it better for me. So here we go. We're going to deliver a great Andy Gorman putting lesson with a great drill. It is a good drill. I recommend doing it. That'll be in this.
Yeah. And the important thing, I think, is they tend to, these next couple of Andy Gorman segments kind of build off one another. So it's important, it's, yes, you can look at one, you can watch one off kind of, but if you're coming, fresh to the show, maybe, you can go back and watch the very first Ask Andy segment. And then that'll start to build off of those things. So he's very good at that. He will lay out kind of a foundation, and then he kind of starts to build off of those things. I mean, even from the very first segment he did around this misconception about having your eyes over the ball when you're putting, has already freed up my putting stroke. I put it to work this weekend.
You're almost as good of a putter as I am, and I'm world class.
Right.
As long as I'm using wedges and not a putter to putt with. Hey, if you don't know what that means, watch our vlog.
That's right.
One last thing before we dive into it with Andy. Hey, check out Second City Golf, not 2ND City Golf, spelled out, secondcitygolf.com. Pick up a Drive Range Heroes hat. Pick up that Range Life t-shirt. Pick up a Golf Unfiltered bomber jacket.
That's right.
I would say pick up joggers, but I think they're like sold out. They'll sold out quick. So shout out Chris V, big Bill Bush / Drive Range Hero supporter from the very beginning. The joggers are back ordered. We don't really know how that works yet. I mean, Chris did not order joggers, but he ordered a back ordered item. We're still trying to.
I think I've got that figured out.
Oh, breaking news. I have it
figured out. Yeah.
Breaking news. We might have it figured out how to get Chris taken care of here, but we aren't sure how the back order thing works. We're working on it. Look, we're reliable, good people. We're not going to screw you. We promise. Right. But there are some good hoodies. Sadly, RIP, but I'm still going to wear it every week. I can and tease everybody with it. RIP the tie-dye hoodie.
I know, it's a good one.
But it's so good too. It's so good.
And for those that have ordered things, I know I promised you stickers. There will be stickers in the mail this week. I'm going to sit down tomorrow and I'm going to stuff some envelopes. I'm going to lick some stamps, and I will send out stickers to those that have bought some of our stuff from secondcitygolf.com.
So in our first show we did for episode 60, we went on a whole Seinfeld tangent here. And in my head, I'm like, we can organically recreate this. No, we can't. Anyway, we talked about, if you all recall the episode where George skimps on the wedding invitation, Susan licks them all and dies. Right. We referenced that. Okay. And I'm rewatching it from episode 1. We're almost done with it. That's the gist of it. That's what we talked about.
Right.
Oh, I hate cameras.
Anyways, so we've got Andy on the show. Go to secondcitygolf.com for all of our sort of hats and shirts and sweatshirts and mugs, which you saw William just take a drink out of there. I have to say, that's probably one of my favorite products that we're offering right now. It's a great looking mug.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I don't drink coffee. So I'll tell you right now, it's not tea. It's not warm water, cool water. This is a top shelf old fashioned in here.
Cheers,
my dear.
Should we throw it to Andy then?
Let's throw it to Andy. Cheers.
Hi guys, it's Andy Gorman again with Ask Andy at That's Range Life, and I get asked a lot about what are really good drills to work on with your putting. So what I've got here for you is one of my go-to drills. This is one that I use before I go and play. It doesn't matter whether I'm going to play a recreational round, you know, a playing lesson, pro-am, or even a competition. You know, myself, this is one that I would do. Now, there's 5 balls here. I'd always do it with 2 sleeves. At the limited space, you know, bear with me on that. It would be a 6-ball drill. Now, I'm not so sure how far past the hole you can see at this point, but ultimately what we're trying to do here is to finish the ball inside a window of distance behind the hole once I've met a certain criteria of hold putts. So it's a multifaceted drill. First and foremost, the idea of 6 balls, it's 2 sleeves of 3, it makes it easier to work from. Nothing to stop you from going back a bit further. But unless you've got a caddy who's going to be sending the golf balls back for you, it can be a little bit awkward. But the idea of this is that we go back 1 full club length. So this is actually 3 feet for me, because of the length of my putter, just over 35 inches from the toe of the club, it's 3 feet. Address the club into the hole, get the measurement, and then go back 1 full club length every single time. Now, the reason why I love this drill is because I can move the goalposts for the standard of golfer that I'm working with. That's why it's such a versatile drill. Now, Andy, being reasonably good with a putter, is going to put himself under some pressure. I'm going to do it live on camera as well, so you know you're going to see how I would train ordinarily. The first putt must go in. No if, buts and maybes. The first putt must go in. If you are 20 handicap, it's got to go in. The second putt must go in if you are a single figure golfer up to 20 handicap golfer. Wow. Okay, so what we're doing there is we're throwing in the mix and saying, I believe that if you train like a tour player or as good as a tour player, then you can putt as good as a tour player, because you don't have to be an athlete to do that. I've been saying it for years. In fact, other leading golf coaches have been saying the same thing when they figured it was a good idea, having heard it before. All right, so if you are playing from a single figure handicap and up, now let you decide where you are in that single figure, because I didn't say scratch and I didn't say 9, but somewhere in that single figure category, all the way up to 20 handicap, so we're occupying all of the teams. Okay, I'll go to 19 on this one. So 20 and above, you've got to hold this one. Somewhere up to 20, up to 19, so you've got to hold the second one. And then we start to train more advanced than a tour player. At 9 feet, if you hold this putt before you then move on to the distance control drill beyond, because ultimately once you hold this one, we're now into distance. You want to hold it, of course, but what we're doing here is you're training yourself to be exceptional inside 10 feet. Now, I'm going to say this to you that you may not believe me, and that's fine. I don't ask you to believe me, I'm going to tell you to believe me, but I'm asking you to believe me in this, because for the last 6 years, I haven't missed a putt inside 6 feet on the golf course. Whether it's competitive, whether it's recreational, whether it's playing lessons, so there's an element of an edge to it, I haven't missed a putt inside 6 feet. And I don't believe that it's a coincidence that because I trained over the last 6 years to hold every single one of these putts in this drill, that it's not had an effect on my putting, positively of course. But I also noticed that between the 6 foot and the 10 foot mark, which would be about here, I was missing a handful of putts a year. When I say a handful, that's a handful, and I was missing less than that, right, a year. So I was missing a few putts in this area inside 10 feet, but I wasn't necessarily training myself to hold this third putt in this drill. Nor was I asking my tour players to do it. I was just saying focus on these 2 before you move on. And I think I was shortchanging my elite players. Now, I'm not asking you to train like I tour at elite players, but you might want to, because I don't think there's a coincidence. If you train well, you perform well. But also, you know, it's easy sometimes. We can train a little bit lighter than where we could be. Look, if you want to force yourself to hold all of these putts, feel free. But I think ultimately we could probably put a little bit too much pressure on here to hold it every single time. But I certainly think for the recreational golfer, which most of you will be, we can get this second and maybe even the third putt in, but I'm going to ask you to adjudicate yourself here. I'm not going to force anybody. If you're a category 1 golfer, and if you're certainly a plus handicap golfer, and if you are playing tournaments, I think you should be considering holding the third putt. Now, once you've done this as a drill, you then get on to the 4th, 5th, and 6th putt, and it all becomes, you've got to get it to the hole. That's the first thing about distance control. You've got to get it to the hole, and I'm giving you a 1 grip window behind the hole. So from the back edge of the hole, 1 grip length. That will give you 12 inches from the centre of the hole. It's the optimum speed, and of course the beauty about that is, we're training ourselves with optimum speed, picking the line is going to be easier. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, this should be a relatively flat putt, purely and simply because it's a relatively flat route, apart from a few of the other variable stations. But crucially, I've got to hold these putts. No pressure, he says, because from here, if I don't hold this, I'm back to the start and I'm going through the drill all over again. So you're seeing this as a live drill. This is exactly how I would go about training. 1 take only. Remember, first 3 for me, and then it's into distance control. And the distance control is you've got to get to the hole, but it can't finish more than a foot past if we are going to miss the putt. And the reason why I do this, just so that you know, is that this will cover every single one of the putts that you're going to have in the first half a dozen holes on the course. Think about it. How many putts could these be for par? Or maybe for birdie? Right? If you've hit a couple of really good shots, you want to capitalise on them. You want to feel comfortable that you've got a chance over these putts. So that's why we're doing it. Right, so, here we go. Remember, it's the first 3 for me. You train according to where you are. And I said it was live, and I've left the club face open and the ball's not only not gone in, but there's also run on a couple of feet by. So again, we go back to the start. This is exactly how we do it. Now, of course, I did say to you that I don't miss 6-foot putts on the golf course, and that is true, but you can miss them in training. You just become resilient through the training this is. Good pace on that as well. Now this one's got to get to the hole if it misses, but I am allowed now to miss. I'm not trying to miss it, of course. And a foot past the hole, just about. So from here, I've got just enough room to make this putt. And I'll have completed the putt if the ball stays within that foot past the hole. If he doesn't go in, not the best of putts, but that's the drill complete for me. I may go and give it a go again if I do it first time around. I may do it from a different area on the putting green. I even give myself a left to right or right to left putt because they're not always going to be straight putts on the course. Now, of course, as you add the degree of difficulty, those first 3 putts, you might reevaluate. You might say, right, okay, it's going to be the first one or the first two, that have got to hold. But you always got to hold the first putt. And that's a really strong drill. And that will really show you where your potential weaknesses are in terms of numbers as well. I'll be perfectly honest with you. The 12-foot putt is one of those putts. Now, the 9 is normally where I get away with 1, 2, and 3 because I'm forcing myself. The 12-foot is like, breathe a little bit now, and I get onto that 12-foot putt. So, I might miss it, but I get good distance control. I'm going to end up with these putts on the golf course. I can guarantee that somewhere in those first 4 or 5 holes where I'm looking for good distance control to get myself off to a good, comfortable start. Remember, it's about a comfortable start as much as anything else. It's just a really powerful drill. Give it a try. It's going to improve your putting. Distance control is just as important from inside 20 feet as it is from 40 and 60 feet. I'll catch you with you next time.
Andy Gorman, working magic as always.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Andy. If those that don't recall from when Andy was on the show, hey, hit him up. He'll give you a discount on lessons if you tell him Bill Bush of DriveRangeHeroes.com and Chris McEwen of the YouTube fame sent you. He will go, I got you. Discount. It's worth it. It's quite literally saved my golf game.
And if you have just a very high level question, a very specific question, you can ask Andy in these comments, and we will forward those questions over to him, and he will answer your question in one of his videos
and likely give you a drill to fix what you're terrible at golf.
It's true.
Don't tell me you're not. You watch golf YouTube stuff. You're terrible at something. I know you are. I'm one of you.
It's true.
All right. Let's catch up in our personal lives, Chris. How about that?
Let's do that. How about it?
I'm going to start.
What have you been doing? How have you been? You cooked some meat tonight, did you not? How did it turn out?
Oh, baby. I cooked a 28-day dry-aged ribeye, halal ribeye, so nice and clean, prime cut.
Very nice. Where's it from?
Shout out Kasai Meats of the West Loop in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My friend Adib, great guy. Him and Azim, they sell fantastic beef products, chicken. I got my Thanksgiving turkey, which I think I talked about on the show, which was unreal. Maybe the best thing I've ever barbecued from them. But they make great stuff. But yeah, so Adib and Azim of Kasai Meats recently got a dry ager from Germany.
Oh man,
it's huge.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. It's some big meat company butcher that's famous in Chicago. It starts with a P, I think.
Paulina?
No. Maybe.
I mean, Paulina Meat Market is a pretty big deal. That's where we usually go for our fancy meats. But anyways, continue.
Let's say it's Paulina. Anyway, okay. I think it could be. And if it's not, I apologize. But it's the same dry ager they use.
Okay.
And so Azim's day job, Adib's my buddy, Azim's his partner in this. His family like owns and runs this big like supply chain logistics company. So he's in the family business now, and he's now living. He moved back in with them out in Skokie, and he has, a decent house, nice piece of land out there. And they said, well, we could get this down there. So they put the dry ager in his basement. And when Adib, knowing me the way he does, Adib sends me a text the day they got it. He's like, dude, we got a dry ager. I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking of like, I just want to put everything I can in there. Let's go.
Right.
And I can't wait to see how the food. He's like, dude, you're my guy. I got you. I will give you a ribeye out of this, like, our test batch. So he tells me, so I ended up meeting him at work. We went into the office on Friday, we were the only two there. It was hilarious. And pick up some stuff, do actual works of like pick up the ribeye as well. And he goes, listen, the way you do this, like you put in a whole rib roast to dry age it. Then you have to, if you ever see dry age meat before it's trimmed, it is disgusting. It's looks like rotten meat that's going to kill you. Like you have to trim it up. Yeah. It's pretty funny. So he's like, by the time you trim it up, you go the whole thing up, we get about 7 steaks. Then you get like the end piece, which is the way the meat cuts. It's really like 2 steaks. He goes, save that end piece. That's for my guy, Bill. And he's a sweetheart. Nice. I said, all right, cool. Nice. So I got it from him and the thing was massive. So yeah, I cooked that tonight and I don't want to quite say I nailed it, but I was pretty as close as you can be without totally nailing it because it's, it was this, it's probably a 3-pound piece of beef. Yeah. And they're tough to get just perfect.
For sure. Yeah.
So I got it really good, man. It was so good. So good. So shout out Kasai Meats. Check them out. Look them up. Maybe we'll get crazy. It'll be the first like non-golf related link we drop in the description. I don't even know I don't know where they deliver to now, but
do they deliver to my house?
100%. 100%. What else have I been up to? I have a golf head here. See that? That's an original Cobra. It's probably whitewashed because of my shitty camera. Hang on. This son of a bitch. I even lost a headphone over this. Like, I'm still so furious. Anyway, so you see this. My buddy Rob texted me recently. And he's like, hey, what can you do about this? And he sends me a picture of a golf shaft bent like that much at the tip, missing a head. And I went, hey, golf clubs aren't supposed to do that. How'd that happen? Yeah. So much humor in this. And I asked him, like, do you still have the head? Like, that's an important piece of this question. He goes, yes, I do.
Or is it on a driving range somewhere?
Right. Here's the best part about Rob. Rob is not a golfer like us and probably many people watching the show, but he golfs. And Rob, I made a lot of cracks when he stopped by my house today. He's the kind of guy, he's so athletic and he's super smart. It's like he does something 2 to 4 times. He's an all-star at it, right?
Yeah.
So, when he told me this story, I'm like, yeah, and you probably shot a 75 at this place, you asshole. He's like, no, I haven't quite figured out golf yet. And I said, all right, well, it just means he's not putting enough time into it, like an average amount of time into it. So his story goes, he was at the illustrious Rich Harvest Farms.
Oh, I know a guy there.
And I go, oh, a corporate outing? Because that's the only way you're getting out there. He goes, no, a guy I work with is friends with some members out there. And so we just went and played golf. I'm like, God damn it.
Okay.
Okay, Rob.
Yeah. Right.
Son of a bitch.
Right.
And he goes, one of the holes, pull my 4-iron. And the caddy's like, did you notice this thing's bent a lot?
So it was already like that. You didn't even know?
Right. And he's like, oh, no. And by the way, big Cobra guy over here, he bought these clubs years ago off of like, I'm like, you know what, Rob, for what you're looking for, I hit the set of irons recently at the old website. And I'm like, they're pretty good, man. They might fit the bill and he loves them. And so Rich Harvest Farms and true Rich Harvest Farms fame, the caddy like calls back to the shop, the house. I don't know who he called back to, someone back home.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got a situation here. Someone drives out with a cart, gets the club. I'm like, why is the club like that? Pulls it. They bring it back to the shop, pull it apart. And they're like,
shut up.
Hey, dude, you got a problem. And I'm like, oh, you mean when the club so even when it's on it, would have looked like this. I'm like, no shit, you have a problem here. Okay.
Right.
They took it apart for him. The only way you fix that is buy a new shaft. Right.
Yeah.
And I go, so it happened last year. I'm like, hey, you came to the right person, Rob. I got you. So I went, did a quick look around, and this was kind of depressing. quick look around in the stash, and I go, I had a set of those, and I gave them to somebody, so I don't still have them, which sucks because I would have just given you the one shaft out of. You're my guy. You're like, we go back to 6th grade. I would have.
Yeah.
I got you. I will break a set of golf shafts to make sure you're taken care of. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. So here's what you need to do. Call these golf stores in our area and just be like, do you have these? Can I buy a 4-iron shaft? Don't ask them to build it, because even if they'll do it for you for a good price, I'll still do a better job of it. Give it to me. I'll take care of it.
Right.
24 hours later, I'm like, you know what? Let me check the stash in the garage.
The other stash.
Stash 2.
Right.
Oh, I have a full set of the exact shaft he has in his clubs. Same flex weight, everything.
Wow.
Go, good news for you, bud. I have the 4-iron shaft you're looking for. So, brand new, I got you, bud. Drops his club off today. Have to rebuild that for him. So that's probably more exciting for me than playing around a golf, being like, ooh, I got to dig through all my treasures.
Right. And help a friend.
And build a golf club. And my friend will go play Rich Harvest Farms and relive the story. And I'll be like, yo, you get your helpful friend and invite out there. Let's go. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, I'm building golf clubs, just saving the world, man. Saving the world, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, he gives me the 5 and 6 iron, and I'm sitting there going like, okay, let me measure the length. Okay, all right, I know how long I need to cut this. And I went, man, you still have the stock grips on these things. I know they feel a little dried out and roached. I text him, Rob, I have an offer for you, and he just replies, okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I've gotten those texts before. ...
question mark. I go, I will give you same grip, fresh set of grips on all of your irons. In parentheses, you could probably talk me into your full set of clubs for a 6-pack of beer. I'll regrip all your clubs and give out of my stash, give you the grips. And he's like, tell you what, make it 2 6-packs and I get to share them with you. I'm in.
Oh,
I said, done deal.
It's a good friend right there.
Done.
It's a good friend.
Me? I know I'm a great friend.
Also, Rob's a great friend.
Oh yeah, Rob's pretty good. He's an okay friend. He's pretty good. So I did tell him, I'm like, Rob, I did the math on this between the caliber of golf shaft going into here, the grip I'm going to put on here for you, the 20 some years of friendship is finally paying off in roughly like $100 plus.
Right.
Of equipment, of
That's
goods
not even
and labor.
Right.
So, Rob, you did all that work for all these years to be my friend for this. Not a big deal. Hey, you played golf today, or not today, yesterday with friend of the program, Adam Unfiltered. Tell me about it.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. AUF and I got together to play some golf, and we had gone back. You were part of the conversation. He and I were going back and forth on whether or not we were going to go play, because it was going to be the one nice day of the weekend. We had talked about in show A how today was quite cold, but yesterday was in the 60s.
Fuck you.
It was beautiful.
I don't know if you caught what I just said to you.
What'd you say?
Fuck you.
But anyways, but yeah, so Adam Unfiltered and I went out to Water's Edge Golf Course to do a little scouting, to build a little confidence building, because we have, as you well know, we have entered or joined the Chicago Golf Tour for 2021.
You're professional golfers now.
Essentially, I mean,
the worst
really,
professional golfers, but you are professional golfers.
Yeah, nevertheless.
Right.
So the first event will be held at Water's Edge in 2 weeks. So we were like, why not go play Water's Edge and kind of get a feel for it? And so we did that. And I got to tell you, hit the ball pretty well. There were some times where I did not hit the ball very well. I had a new putter that I was taking out and giving a go. And early returns will probably stay in the bag, which is why I may have you possibly get your hands on it and put in one of those fancy one-step shafts that you've got.
What does it have bends in the shaft, or is it a straight shaft?
Oh, it does.
Can't do it.
Okay.
Can't do it.
That's okay. I have another putter that you may be able to play around with. Anyways, yeah, it was a good round. It was really, really nice. It was really, really warm. and Adam and I went through about half of the bag of peanuts that I brought on the golf course, which made him so happy for whatever reason. But yeah, it was fun, man. I'm looking forward to the season. I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to it. I'm feeling good.
Golf
feeling
in
confident.
golf in general, or your professional golf season?
Both. I think, after going through, I parred that first par 5 where, granted, you reached it in 2 when we played last year.
Hey, hang on. Show 1A today. You said I parred that hole with a 3-putt. I did not 3-putt that hole.
Did you birdie that hole?
I did birdie it. 2-putt.
Yeah, okay.
And because that was a big deal. That was the Tour Edge Exotics EXS 220 3-wood.
Yeah, you went 3-wood.
Was new to the bag, right?
Yeah,
pretty good 3-wood off the tee. Not great, but good, very good.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. I'm not saying not great, but nothing that anybody was like writing home about. But that second 3-wood,
who writes home about golf shots in general?
Way too many losers. But that 3-wood off the deck to reach the green, I was like, "Whoa, boys!"
Yeah,
just saying. Just
good shot.
Anyway. Proceed.
Anyways, back to my round of golf that I played and you didn't.
Yeah, I was making grade A ribeyes. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good time, and I'm very cautiously optimistic about the golf season. I kept the ball in play relatively well the last round, and so this week we were prepping for the first round of the season in the Chicago Golf Tour at Water's Edge. This coming weekend, so as we drop this episode on Thursday, I believe on Sunday I will be visiting the first major of the Chicago Golf Tour season, the Masters at Ravislow Country Club, which I'm very excited about.
I was thinking about this. Like, I was your cool plays golf guy last season, and because of your stupid professional golf tour, I feel like Adam Unfiltered is just going to slip in on me.
You can come play with us.
Well, along those lines, one, I think April's course vlog video should be a vintage match. A match. Vintage gear. Ravislow was one of my clubhouse leaders for choices. It's a great place to play the vintage gear.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm a big hickory guy now, but I'm not going to play hickory clubs. I don't have a full set yet.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I know how to work on them now. Not a big deal. They terrify me. But you know what the hardest thing about hickory club work is for me? Regrips. No. I can fix a shaft. I can fix a head.
Yeah.
Wrapping that strip of leather and just little tiny nails that are 100 years old, tacking them back into a varnished wooden shaft. Forget about it.
Yeah. Pass.
But I think that's
where do you want to play instead? Where do you want the match play to?
No, I'm saying we'll do it at Ravislow with our vintage gear, just not with hickory clubs, please. Thanks.
Got it. Anyways, I'm going to play there on Sunday. I think it's going to be beautiful out. If you can get on Oak Park on Sunday, it's going to be like 70.
No, I'm not.
Although
I'm not.
It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
I know.
Just so you know,
overnight tonight, and it's like, I can't decide if just for good fun I'm into it, or if I'm like, you know what,
it's your fault, because in the first golf vlog of 2021, you said we're going to get hit with another blizzard anyway. So
I think I said 3 blizzards to be precise.
Great.
Hey, good work on that vlog. That was fun. That was a good video.
It was fun, man. Once I get you guys running around with the camera, it'll be even better.
Don't talk to me about cameras right now.
That's why I did it.
Don't you do it. I'm like, Chris, you need me to buy, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to buy a better lens and a Rode mic or something similar. And then be like, I can't get this webcam thing right. I have all this shit I guess I can keep the microphone. That'll transfer.
That's true. Yeah. It was a fun video to make, though. It was a fun video to record. It was a fun video to make. I think my favorite part is still you smelling the pond 3-wood, and the guy on Twitter.
How good was that? How good was
great. So great.
Not just the guy on Twitter. So
Jemsick, right? Mr. Jemsick. Yeah.
Let's tell the story. So the vlog goes up. Adam Unfiltered posts it and apparently Joe Gemsick of the Gemsick family, who owns St. Andrews Golf and Country Club, Cog Hill Golf and they do the Golf and Country Club. It's not a golf and country club. I don't get why they do that. Anyway,
yeah. Anyways.
Joe is very involved in the business. He watches it and he comments. So we walked up to the 12th tee. There was this muddy, gross, disgusting 3-wood, which ended up being like probably an 80s era Wilson golf, laminate 3-wood. And Adam and I see it. We're very curious. We figure out what it is. We said, that's it. We're all teeing off with it. Watch the video. Maybe Chris will link it. Hey, Chris, can we get another card up here somewhere?
I don't know if we can do 2 cards in one video.
Maybe he can put it in the end when it's, when you watch these YouTube videos and they're like, hey, next video and last video here and here. He can do that. So stay tuned. Watch that video though. And he says he replies to Adam on Twitter and says it's probably from when the staff dragged the pond next to the 12th tee.
Right.
And Adam I think he said, yeah, it smelled like this.
It smelled like it. I know, which is great. So there's a whole backstory to that club we don't even know about. So did someone throw it into the pond?
Did they throw it into it in August? Right. Did they throw it into it in 1983? We don't know.
Right. I know. I want to know the story.
That course is literally 100 years old. Obviously, it's not a 100-year-old club, but like, when did they drag it, or have they dragged it before and just never scooped it? They finally did this time,
right?
I don't know, but I'm into it. I still
know the story of.
I still have the club in my garage. There's future plans for it. Just saying.
Yeah,
but just that he replied to it, it was so rewarding. It was so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it did smell horrible. It was disgusting. I don't even know how we ended up on this topic, but yeah, it was so satisfying to see Joe Gemsick reply and be like, this is probably what happened. And I proposed next, a future vlog. Next time you guys are dragging the ponds, I don't care if nothing comes out. Can we be there just to document the process? Right.
It's going to be like Geraldo's Vault. I'm going to get the drone up in the air. I'm going to.
Geraldo's Vault. What a reference.
I'm going to have the camera set up and just in case we come across something.
You have to figure out in post-production how to slip in a clip that's just like a quick little clip of the Geraldo's Vault saga.
Oh my God. It's I don't know if it was such a Chicago thing, right?
I don't care.
Because it was Al Capone's Vault and it was like a 4-hour special. I'll see if I could.
How old were you when that came out?
I don't know, like 10 years old, maybe? It was like 80s, right?
No, I feel like it was like early 90s at least.
Was it? Maybe, yeah. Maybe I was.
Because I remember it, and 13? I was born in 85.
Oh, wow, really? So that was, God, no way. Was that really in the 90s?
It had to. I mean, obviously, we have this thing called Google.
Yeah.
We don't check Google while we're recording. It's a rule.
No, it's too difficult. My keyboard's way over there. Can't do it.
I'm with you.
I'll have to look it up. I feel like it had to have been early to mid 90s then. Because,
should that be the new direction of this channel? We do that like never mind unboxing videos, which by the way, we got to get those custom knives. We got to do it.
Get them, man.
We should do it.
All right. Get them.
Custom knives. And stay tuned on That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf for custom knife. That Range Life of custom knives. Never mind the unboxings. Never mind the course vlogs. Never mind equipment reviews. That Range Life, the weekly show you all love and enjoy so much. And Geraldo vaults at various golf courses. Every month you get one.
I'm in.
Who else is? I'm almost upset. We talked about it while recording because people are going to steal this idea.
Right.
It's like, when people go scuba diving for golf balls, except we're dragging lakes and digging up dead bodies.
I mean, think of all the locations just in our Chicagoland. We could hit up Chevy Chase. We could hit
Gold.
Cog.
I don't want to know.
Hit
I don't want to know a thing about what's in Chevy Chase's lakes, ponds. I don't want association with it.
Right. Speaking of Al Capone.
I'm curious. Let me watch the videos, but leave me out of it. If Adam Unfiltered wants to post it on his channel because, it's the kind of content we do, Fine.
Right.
Fine. But not on ours. I don't.
Right.
I value my life.
All
right. Is that enough of that range life this week?
That's way enough.
Hey, episode 60, guys. 60 episodes.
It's like 60 B.
Fair. We're released 60 episodes, recorded about 73 since the beginning of the show. All right. He's Chris McEwen. This is his YouTube page. You can check him out at Chris McEwen. You know, we're not plugging what came on our site this week. We probably should have done that. Golf Origin Stories is doing the damn thing as always. I think I talk about, you know what? Let's do these people the justice they deserve. I have a good blog this week of a new putter I acquired recently from my good friend Chip Usher at Usher Golf down in Savannah, Georgia. The founder and runner of Black Lab Golf. Great putter. Check him out. But yeah, hit us up on our site. See what we're doing at Chris McEwen, at Range Heroes. That's episode 60. Go to secondcitygolf.com. Buy yourself some merch. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.